Hi there. Hello. How's it going? What's happening?
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Well, you tweeted about this. Oklahoma Republican leader compares vaccine mandates to the Holocaust, take away the star and add a vaccine passport. And you just said this cult of alleged tough guy alphas are big-time drama queens, whiny diaper babies all.
Yeah.
And
It's just another example of it coming down today. Don't let anyone tell you that cancel culture is a feature of the left. Oh my God, Devin Nunes is suing Rachel Maddow for defamation.
Yep.
Another one of these frivolous slap suits. It's another slap suit that they're using to cancel liberal voices, and it's happening all over the place. Yes. Hence the copious usage of allegedly on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
by the way, Bob, should it be legal for Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid to be on vacation in the same week and for more than 1 week? I know people lost their shizzle when Bob and I went on vacation, but we inhabit a smaller, different universe, don't we, Bob? We're like, I don't know what superhero nerds. I understand it was upsetting when Bob and I went on vacation, but this is really too much. Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid, and it's more than a week. It's more. Okay.
That's BS right there.
What's going? I call some bull. Okay, apparently Joy's in Cabo San Lucas. She looks fantastic, but she needs to get back here. So does Rachel Maddow. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't mind Ali Velshi on 24/7. He's filling in for everybody on MSNBC from morning to nighttime. Ali. Yeah. I love it when he says his own name. He goes, I'm Ali Velshi. Ali Velshi likes to say things very loudly and forcefully. Ali Velshi. Did I mention I'm Ali Velshi? Yes, I'm Ali Velshi.
Whatever, Dick Pinch. Okay, so.
But every time he comes on TV, I have to go. I can't help but to go, and Kimberly will attest to this. I go, Ali Velshi. It's Ali Velshi. And I say it like Ali Velshi.
He was the original Doom of the Stephanie Miller Show. We went back when he was the bald-headed prophet of doom.
Yes.
On CNBC.
Yeah, that was around the time of the 2008 crash.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so we had him on to talk about doom.
Oh, speaking of which, speaking of finances, Bob, you retweeted Aaron Rupar, who said GDP growth under Trump was the worst for any president dating back to the Great Depression. And you said, funny what happens when suckers elect an incompetent doofus / professional con man, uncontrolled pandemic, insurrections plural, myriad attempts to cheat in 2016 and 2020, abuse of power, enabled white supremacy, economic collapse, institutions pillaged, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you.
Yeah. You have to go back to 1988 to find a successful Republican president. And even that second term of Reagan was kind of a disaster. So maybe back to 1984. That's a long way back. And then, yesterday I was doing this thing. I went off on this rant yesterday on the podcast where I was talking about how I can't think of a single Republican legislative accomplishment that has had long-reaching effects, like things like Medicare or Medicaid or Social Security or the Affordable Care Act, the stimulus of 2000. There are all these Democratic successes legislatively, and you can't find a single Republican one. I can't think of anything that has the landmark staying power of some of the Democratic successes, whether it's a Democratic president, Democratic Congress, or both combined.
Yeah.
And so, it's just, I don't understand how people keep voting for this party every single time they enter the White House. It's a nightmare. It's a disaster. And then the Democrat has to come in and fix the mess. I was comparing it to those guys who walk behind the parade and scoop up all the elephant poop, right?
Yes.
That's
every
the
time.
Democratic presidents. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So they come in, Republicans come in, and they just mess the place up, and then we got to come in and fix it. And it's happened every single time. I mean, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden now. And yet people are still walk into a voting booth in 2024 and pull levers for Republicans. Obviously it's the power of propaganda. We know some of the reasons, but it's still confounding, and Ron DeSantis is another example as governor in Florida. And it's just, we could have said, or I think we did say, we've been saying all along that you have to do X, Y, and Z. And there's a process and there's a template. There's an outline for how we deal with these things. And Republicans are just ignoring that for the sake of pandering to their idiot followers.
So back to COVID for a moment. I love this shot at Fox yesterday.
In the past several days, states and local officials have come out to impose similar vaccination mandates. And the private sector is stepping up as well. Even Fox has vaccination requirements.
Hello.
I want to thank Walmart, Google, Netflix, Disney, Tyson Foods for their recent actions requiring vaccination for employees. Look, I know this isn't easy, but I will have their backs.
And this, we could not have been more thrilled yesterday about New York. Here's the president on that.
New York City just announced today that they'll require vaccines for restaurants and gyms. Do you think more cities and states should institute rules like that?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope we get it here in California quickly. And one last one, Bob, real quick. The president, get your take.
Do you think that they should institute a vaccine passport type system or some sort of verification to use public spaces?
I don't think they need to do that. I think they just need to give the authority of those restaurants or businesses to say, in order to come in, you have to give proof that you've been vaccinated or that you can't come in.
Yeah, I mean, Bob, okay. I've been anxious for quite some time that it's just done with carrots, time for sticks. In fact, I think there's recent polling, right, showing there is a pretty hefty percentage of the unvaccinated. Absolutely, of course, if they have to for a job, even for a sports thing, for an indoor sports thing, if they have to get vaccinated, they will. I mean, it's just, we just have to just do it. This is a public health emergency, and we just have to, it just has to be required, period, I think. What do you think?
Fascinating turn of events happening right now on the Republican side, where in response to the vaccine mandates that are happening at the corporate level, make no mistake, there are very few government. I mean, we're doing it maybe with the Pentagon, the military, but by and large, we're talking about corporations. Between that and the lawsuits against big tech and so on, the Republican Party has now become the anti-corporation party, which probably makes Jimmy Dore and Ryan Knight really, really happy. I don't know. I mean, they're already there,
but exactly,
come on in.
How do you get the whole, like, no regulation ever of companies? And Ron DeSantis now thinks he can dictate to cruise ship companies that they cannot ask if you're vaccinated or try to keep their passengers and their crew safe. I mean, it's insane, right? That they're trying to.
Yeah, I mean, Asa Hutchinson, the governor of Arkansas right now, is going, geez, I wish I hadn't signed that ban on mask mandates.
Yeah, he could have had a V8.
I wish I could take that one back, right?
I could have had a V8, yeah.
Once again, a stupid thing that someone else who's got a brain in their head has to come along and fix, right?
Right.
So at some point, that's all going to have to be unraveled.
Yeah, he earlier this year, just so people know what we're talking about, signed a bill that banned schools from enacting mask mandates for students and faculty. Now admits it was a mistake. Oh, it's in the now a warning pile. Yeah. He called for a special session to change his state's mask mandate ban to give school districts more flexibility.
Now a warning?
He told reporters he's grown concerned about the health of children who are not yet old enough to get vaccinated. Yes. That's why this is like we're sending them into. Can you imagine, Bob? I mean, we know kids can't get vaccinated. Governors are preventing your school right there. I can't even from masks, which we know work if you cannot be vaccinated.
That's right.
He also expressed regret for signing the blanket mask mandate into law in the first place. Well, okay. But Arkansas's at 37% right now vaccinated, Bob. So it's just, I do think that they are seeing this slow motion disaster coming as schools reopen, right?
Right. It's basically what George Carlin used to say about, pro-lifers. Up until when you're preborn, you're fine.
Yeah.
When you're born, when you're post-born, you're effed. That's basically it.
Yeah.
It's life begins at conception and ends at birth, right? That's the Barney Frank thing. And this is, again, we're seeing illustrations of that all along. We're going to throw our kids onto the front lines of COVID. Make no mistake, that's exactly what's happening for the next 6 or 10 months.
Yeah.
Republicans are putting their children on the front lines of the fight against COVID. Children are going to be the bullet blockers in this war metaphor, right?
Yeah.
And so it's going to be...
You and I don't even have kids. It's like, as usual, we're the ones that are concerned about other people's kids. Because
Right. Well, we also have ourselves, too, which is important because what happens here, it's not just other people's kids or other people just in general getting this. What they're doing is they're producing all of these new and more powerful variants, which then will affect those of us who are vaccinated and who are acting responsible. So it ultimately is going to land in our laps somehow because, as I'm surprised this doesn't get quoted more often in regard to the virus, but life finds a way, to quote Jurassic Park. And this is going to find a way back into our laps.
Yeah. It's the saying that everyone keeps saying, what doesn't kill you mutates and tries again. So
yeah, exactly. I love that. Yeah,
Bob, when you were born on Planet Nerd, did they not tell you had to go forth and replicate? I mean, were you not given instructions?
That's
propagate
right.
your... Okay.
Yes, I've got cloning tubes in the back. We're all set here. That has to happen.
So you, Adam Kinzinger said, I would expect to see a significant number of subpoenas for a lot of people. You said on Twitter, as long as one of the subpoenas is on his way to Bedminster. I mean, I just think, we were just talking about the Andrew Cuomo thing, and I'm like, how is it possible Donald Trump has gotten a pass for everything way worse than anyone else has done for a lifetime? He can't. What do you always tell me, Bob? He can't keep getting away with this, Bob. He can't.
Yeah.
Bob.
He can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it.
Which is why my favorite game on Twitter is you tweaking Donald Trump Jr., who he tweeted, Democrats and the media want a two-tiered society where millions of law-abiding Americans are segregated and discriminated against. This is what actual fascism looks like. And you said, no, fascism is abusing presidential power to overturn a free and fair election. Right. And when the lies and coercion don't work, order your fanboys to violently invade and occupy Congress. That's fascism. But nice try with the I know you are, but what am I defense, diaper baby. And you also went on to say, when you're locked up in Dannemora, I'm going to sit on the other side of the fence, enjoying my freedom in a lawn chair and a cooler filled with beverages, laughing and pointing at you while you crap your prison-issue pants. Bob, you were in a mood yesterday on Twitter, and that is my favorite. Bob Cesca in a mood.
In a mood.
I've said that before to Don Jr., and it's only because I really, really mean it. If he ends up in some New York State prison, I'm going to sit on the other side of that fence and just wave a little tiny flag.
I will make it so MSNBC's prison block will be entirely everyone in the Trump family, and you and I hosting it all weekend. Yeah. Outside every cell, it will just be you and I pointing and laughing and commenting.
You know, there's that scene in Dumb and Dumber where the guy is choking on the hot peppers that they put in his burger, and Jim Carrey's standing over them and pointing and laughing and going, ha ha ha, with the biggest laugh in the world. That's what I'm going to do when Don Jr. is in state prison.
That's
just on the other side of the fence. Yeah.
And we won't ever take vacation, MSNBC. Bob and I will sign a pact, unlike Rachel and Joy.
Yeah. You won't need Ali Velshi to fill in for you.
Ali Velshi. Hey, it's Ali Velshi filling in for Rachel.
Bob and I might go on a bike trip once, and then we'll need Ali Velshi, but that's it. All right. Love you, Bob Cesca.